Gage, what really stood out to me, man, from watching your highlight video was just your ability to be able to get off blocks, okay? And as a corner, that is something that coaches really want to see of, are you going to fight to get off a block and keep contained, or are you going to let the guy just kind of block you and stand there, okay? But you fought off those blocks, came up, made tackles. That was a very great job, okay? Now, my suggestions for your highlight video are the following, okay? Number one is an information slide at the beginning. Now, I've got this pulled up because you do have an information slide here, but we want to kind of change how this information spread up on here. Okay, and with that being said, the best way to really go about doing this is to go on Canva. Okay, this is free, and on the left, you want to go on Canva, do a slide, and on this slide, on the left side, you want to have your name, school, graduation year, position, height and weight, X account, email, and phone number. Okay, put that information on the left, put a picture of you on the right. All right, download that, and then upload that to the very first thing on your video. All right. Now, and the reason we want to kind of have that stuff instead of compared to the other stuff with their attributes and stuff like that is because these coaches are going to want to get in contact with this. All right. And a coach's time is very short and very valuable. And if they don't have that information, they're not going to be able to get in hold of this. Okay. Just like, say, you have an X account. Coaches do that a lot. They'll go look on X for a kid. All right. And if they can't find you or they're spending too much time, they're going to pass and they're going to go on to the next kid. I've had to do that personally. And you don't want to do it because they're great players. But when we make that hard on them, okay, it makes it difficult for them to go contact you, whether that be email, whether that be phone, X account, whatever it is. Just make sure we're doing that. Put that information up there. Okay. Next is removing plays/non-highlights. Okay, this is more anything that doesn't showcase your strength or transfer to the next level as much. All right, because we want to have plays that are more going to move the needle for you. All right. So say we take these plays out. Maybe you're on a coach's board and you're a 10. We take these plays out. Boom, you bump right up to a 5, just because they kind of see those plays that can hit. Okay. So sometimes taking those plays out will really help out. They're not bad plays. Right. Do not get me wrong. But just sometimes being able to have those be taken out just kind of makes a big difference in that side. So to give an example of why, and just kind of what we're looking at here, kind of starting off here with the 255 mark. All right, and on this, all right, like I said, not a bad play. It's kind of one of those deals. It was a scramble drill for you, but sometimes just the guy catching it on you in front of you, all right, compared to the other PBUs that you had on there, that's just one that, hey, let's go ahead and take that out, okay? Because you had other great plays on there really showcasing what you can do and stuff like that, so let's just go ahead and take that one out, all right? Another one was just not as good of a tackle compared to the other stuff, and then like the very last clip on clip 4 was just really wasn't much you did, okay? So take that out. Now, remove all the background sound, all right, because we don't want to have anything that's going to distract that college recruiter from evaluating your film, all right? This is what I did, and this is what these coaches do. They watch 60 to 100 kids in a day. They're sitting in a dark room, lamp on, music going, and sometimes when that stuff pops up, all right, like whether it be the music playing from the video, whether it be the background sound, the captions, that kind of distracts those guys because you get in a zone. You're sitting there, you're in a zone, and you just kind of lose focus on what you're truly trying to look at within the kid. So make sure we take that stuff out, all right? Next, moving on to our order of plays. Okay, we want to go with just defensive plays, all right, and then special team plays at the end. Okay, and the reason being is, say a DB coach is watching you, he doesn't really care as much if he's not in that position group or coach that unit on special teams. He's not going to care about that stuff as much. Okay, so we want to be able to have that so he can just watch that section. All right, then if the special teams coordinator wants to watch those few clips of special teams we got, boom, he can go to the very end, pull these up, boom, he's ready to go. All right, next, going to the sequence of plays. All right. And this is going to kind of go with their flow of how you kind of have it to try to change it a little bit, all right? Because we don't want to go game by game, the next play after next play of what we did, all right? We want to put these things in a flow that's really going to show off. We want to start off with turnovers, okay? Anything interceptions, forced fumbles, fumble recoveries. Then as a DB, you want to go to PBUs, okay? Those pass breakups, all right? And then you want to go to any TFLs you've got, any tackle for losses, at the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage, and then you want to move next to your tackles. This is anything physical and violent. Okay, as a DB, they want to see the physicality and the violence when you're knocking somebody back, right? That's what they really want to see. And then follow that up with your remaining defensive highlights, okay? This is not necessarily one of these like turnovers or PBU, TFL, big tackle type plays, but still showcasing what you can do, all right? And then we'll follow that up with the special teams plays, okay? So within each of these sections, you want to have your best 3 to 5 to 6 clips, all right? Put your best clips first, and then go within there to your play 3, 4, 5, or 6, all right? However many you got there, okay? Now, the reason we want to do that is because we want to be able to capture that coach's attention. Like I said, he's watching 60 to 100 kids in a day, okay? So if we can get his attention early, all right, that's going to help. That's going to help keep him watching and keep him going, okay? So make sure we're doing that, and that will really help out in that stance, all right? So what I've done, I've gone on here, and these clips I've got here at the beginning is what I would start each section off with, okay? Your very best clip, I believe, on here. So go into the 31-second mark, all right? This is your interception that you had, okay? And one thing I will say on all of your clips, okay, you can trim them down, the length of them to where they're starting and where they finish. And then the other thing is make sure you add a spot shadow. Spot shadow is something that's going to highlight where you're at, okay, whether it be an arrow, a circle, whatever that is. We want to make sure we're showing that because a coach they can't see you. I can't see whether you're 26 or 21, okay, so we got to highlight that so those coaches can see. All right, so great job here. Boom, breaking, they scramble, being able to undercut this, pick it off, okay, using your hands, great job there. All right, go into your next clip at the 3:36 mark, and this is why we want to put these plays at the beginning. So like I said, after a minute, if coach can't see this, he misses out on this clip. All right, this is a fantastic clip. Okay, go into your PBUs here. All right, great job. You're up top. Okay, boom, being able to catch up, knock that ball down on that skinny post. Great job there, extending everything. All right, go into the 117 mark. on your TFL, like I said, this is what I really like right here, being able to get off this block, rip that guy down, okay, boom, come up, make a tackle. Great job. All right, next, go into your 350 mark, okay, back here at the very end. All right, one of the last ones we got on here, boom. All right, like I said, that's why we want to put this stuff first. One of your biggest tackles you had, the most physical, the most violent, boom, come up and stick this guy right here. That is a great job there. That's what they want to see. That's why we got to get this stuff up here earlier, okay, within how we do these sections. Now, going to the 244 mark, all right, this is how I kind of follow the remaining offensive highlights, okay, with right here. All right, we're down at the bottom, boom, get off get off the block, excuse me, come up and make a tackle, okay, great job there. All right, be able to showcase that, being able to like get off that block again, and then go to the 50-second mark, all right, here, and just showing what we can do of still being in phase. It's not necessarily PBU, okay, or interception, but we're still showing them how we're tracking everything else. And then lastly, on this portion, we can go into the special teams here really quickly, excuse me, and that's the just showing of you going down and making a tackle. Okay, so add that at the end, and then you have the other one with the blocked field goal. Okay, you returning it. Add that one at the very last one. So I go with this one because boom, you're getting down in there, showing that you're willing to put your body on for kickoff, and it still shows you making a tackle. Okay, now after going over the game film feedback, let's take a look at what divisions you should target. I'm basing this off of the most recent highlight video, okay, which is exactly what college coaches are going to do, and where the athlete can receive a scholarship right now. All right, like I said, that's why we want to change all these things up on that game film feedback on the video, because that's going to help to provide a more dynamic highlight video for these coaches. So, but I'm going off for the video as it is right now. All right, this is a current evaluation more than opposed to a projected evaluation. All right, and this is based on a few criteria. First thing is your graduation year. All right, you have a couple years to go. Use this to your advantage. All right, they're going to look at your size, foot speed, long speed, and your strength. That's what they're looking for as a college DB coach. All right, and with that being said, the levels you should look at today for a scholarship are D3 and NAIA. All right, now you may not start getting interest from these schools yet, just because of your graduation year. Okay, but that doesn't mean we can't start the communication process. Okay, we need to start getting ahead of that, getting on that now. All right, you start emailing these coaches, you need to start calling them. You start making sure you're getting your name out there through social media. Make sure you're following them on the X account. Make sure you're DMing these coaches your updated highlight video. Okay, that way they can see this stuff going into camp season. They can send you an invite for camp, because that's what we really want to go to. Okay, because we're marketing and branding ourselves in the correct way on and off the field. They're going to send us those camp invites to go to these camps, and that way we can put when we're getting an invite from this coach, boom, let's go put our money towards that one where a coach is interested in me. Okay, that's really going to help out more than going to these mega camps where there's 1,000 kids and we get lost in the shuffle. All right, I've seen that as a player myself and as a coach. Okay, it makes a big difference, because as a coach they give you 1,000 or a 40-page paper with 1,000 kids' names on it. It's kind of hard to keep track of everybody. Okay, so that's really going to help with those camps. All right, you can introduce yourself to those coaches, either get to know them, make that relationship, so when you send that midseason highlight, they're going to know who they're watching. They're going to see the speed that you put on that first information highlight. They're going to be able to clock you, see all that stuff. All right, that's going to be very beneficial. But here's the deal: how can we also go attack these levels and get better? All right, my suggestion to improve your game that translates to college football and possibly a higher division are the following. First thing is strength training. We got to add good weight. Okay, that's going to come through explosion and power. It's quick squats. Okay, coming down, boom, exploding back up. All right, got to be able to play man coverage and be physical. Got to be able to deliver those blows more and more. Everybody's bigger, faster, and stronger when you get to college. Okay, working on foot speed, dot drills, ladder drills, cone drills. Working on doing our DB drills, getting out of our breaks. Okay, you see those? It's got to be a habit over and over and over. Just that consistency side of it. Okay, a lot of that's that individual work. Okay, next we're going to long speed. Track work. Track is right now, we got to be in track. That's going to help our speed train. When we add this muscle on, because we're adding good weight on, we can't lose our speed. Okay, receivers got a deep ball, we got to be able to stay in phase with them. Okay, we can't get beat deep. You understand that as a DB, they say don't get beat deep. All right, continue DB technique development. Okay, working on block destruction more and more. Coaches got to know who can get off a block and come up and make a tackle, just like you showed. So keep working on that. Like I said, those receivers, you get to that next level, they're going to be stronger. So we got to keep working on that. And that comes in that strength and physicality also. Work on hand accuracy. Okay. And man coverage, work on the placement of the hands when we're trying to jam a receiver at the line of scrimmage to where we don't get hands to the face and get called for a flag. All right, work on that hand placement. Work on development of coverage in man versus zone. Okay, continue to develop this technique, because it's going to help your chances of a roster to be able to play somewhere. All right, because in college, guys don't just run man, they don't just run zone, they don't just run one half or straight across the board. One half might be man, one half might be zone. Two guys might be playing man on another guy who's playing zone, vice versa. Okay, a lot of different things, so you got to work on that technique. All right, develop the receiver craft a little bit. Jugs, tennis ball work. Okay, work on the hand-eye coordination. That's going to help bring in interceptions, just like you showed. Work on the hands. Okay, just continuing to develop that. Then also get an understanding of the deep and quick game route tree. Okay, you don't have to necessarily not you running them, but just recognition, knowing of if you guys are playing cover 4 and he's running this comeback of where the ball might go. Playing cover 2, that corner route from the inside guy might stay higher than he would be if we were playing something else. Okay, so just having a better understanding of that's going to help that football IQ. All right, and the last thing I'm going to throw on there, it's not on the notes, but I'll throw it on here, is just the flexibility. Okay, that's that pre and post training stretching. Okay, this is going to help improve your pad level in the run or the pass. All right, and that's also the individual work that's really going to pay dividends. Okay, because this is going to help prevent injury. Because your best ability is your availability. If we're dinged up and banged up, that's going to hurt our chances for video, it's going to hurt our chances for offers. You go to the college side, we're dinged up in college, that's going to hurt our chances for the depth chart. We're just going to get knocked. All right, so these improvements are what a DB college coach will look at. So double down, do all these things, hit it hard. If it translates to your video, All right. This can help you level up your evaluation and possibly have an opportunity at that upper NAI level. All right. But Gage, at the end of the day, everything will come down to your individual work, your outreach, as well as your marketing on social media and your relationship building with college coaches. Relationships are huge in college football. Okay. Which is why the next step is your athlete interview. We're going to get an interview with a coach and get coached on communication and your interviewing skills, which is critical for the conversations you're about to start having with college coaches. So make sure you watch the video beforehand and be ready to go. If you have any questions, we'll be able to answer them at the end of the interview. Thank you.